Spezia, Italy. Well, actually it's a train station. Guys, we've been running for the last half hour from the tender of the cruise ship to get to the train station, to make it to the train that hasn't arrived yet, to have the most epic itinerary from the La Spezia cruise port. This is gonna be a full guide of what you should be doing when you arrive in Italy. So make sure you like and subscribe, and let's get into this adventure together. But if you're new to our channel, we're Mitch and Ella of MitchEllaCo. And after 5 years, 20 countries, and over 150 travel videos, we're going on our biggest adventure yet, around the world in 80 stays. We're visiting luxury escapes, iconic city hotels, legendary cruise ships, Disney resorts, and the theme parks that go with them. We're showing you the most unforgettable places to stay and what to do nearby. We made it to Pisa, only an hour and I think like 25 euros, so let's get outside away from all these people. It is crowded, guys. And just like that, we've made it to Pisa, which is famous for the Leaning Tower. Of course, we're gonna get the token photo. That's what we're here to do. If you have been to our channel before, we like doing the most famous thing in all the cities. Even if it's a short amount of time, we got to get that photo. But the main reason we're doing the video is because there's so much variety from the port that we came from. You can either go to Florence, which is the hardest, 2 hours. You can go to Pisa, which is medium, 1 hour, or you can just go to the Cinque Terre, which is 5 villages. That's the easiest. That's like 15 minutes away. But we're doing a middle mixed with easy, making it difficult by going to the Leaning Tower and then doubling back to the villages. Wish us luck. So we're walking people, and Mitch always navigates us. He's got the best sense of direction, but we don't even need
Google Maps.
Yeah, that's true too. I have a hard time with that, but we don't even need that because literally, I'll turn you guys around. There's just like a crowd of people, and I'm sure there's a bunch of people behind us that are going straight for the tower, so makes it easy. So we're just about to come around the corner to the Leaning Tower, and I thought I'd talk times with you because we started our day at like 8 o'clock to get down to the tender at 8:15, but then the tender was running late, and so we didn't leave until like 8:45. Now I gave us leeway at the train station to be able to walk there, which it's about 30 minutes from the downtown port, to the La Spezia Central. But the tender was late, and so then that pushed us to get a taxi. That was 15 euros instead of our original plan to walk. Then we made it to the train station, and it was at like 9 o'clock, and our train left at 9:30. It takes an hour to get into the city of Pisa. We got here perfectly on time, no delays, and now we're walking 20 minutes to get to the tower, to spend like 30 minute there, to then double back to the train station, to double back to the most famous village in Cinque Terre, which I keep wanting to say quinceañera, but we have a full day ahead of us.
Ella said if you're walking and you want to see a sneak peek, there she leans. Right there, you guys see her.
We have made it to the Leaning Tower of Pisa. What we're here to do, you know we're getting the lean up, and you know somewhere's famous when there's already a line of people doing the same exact thing. We're those tourists today. What I'll say is it took about 15 minutes walk to get here. Super easy, super flat. It looks like a cartoon, almost like Ripley's Believe It or Not, kind of Disney almost. You look like you're getting on a Disney ride. It is so fantastic and so well preserved and so leaning. You have to get the photo, and then you have to get up close to see the marble. It is spectacular. Also, it is really leaning. They don't lie. It's branded well. I think that a lot of people book their extensions or their onshore excursions because it is a hassle to get on the public train, but we did find other people that were on the cruise with us. Most people caught a bus here, and it takes about an hour. And there are plenty of tours going around. If you're more of a history buff, then that's what you want to get into, then you can go inside and all the way to the top. All things that you should probably book in advance. And if you were to want to see the inside, it's 23 euros, which I'll do the conversion down below. Could be in your budget. We're racking up the train tickets. We'll tell you how much they cost at the end of the video though. Okay guys, we feel like we've conquered. We've done some loops. We've got 100 photos of all these different angles. What we'll say is it's really, really popular. We recommend coming earlier in the day because it's hot and it's popular. Next up, we are making our way back to the train station and then catching a train back to the villages. So that will be another adventure. It's about a 2-hour train ride. But this was fantastic. We recommend you absolutely, if you're coming to Italy and you're going to the port, make a day of it and come out here. We're walking back, plenty of restaurants to get, all kinds of Italian food. I found the place to get pizza, so you can go grab it here and then make your way back to the tower in between this alley.
Welcome back to the Mitch of MitchEllaCo. I've made it to this beautiful, beautiful area. And the train conductor's whistling on his way.
Welcome to the first village of Cinque Terre, which is Rigamaroni. I don't know how you say it, but it is on the stops, actually on the door of the train. Very first one, and then there's 5 that you can go to. It is beautiful. You make it through like a mountainside and then it opens up to this. The water is so blue. This is actually the entrance to the walking path that's on this far corner. You can walk all the way through all the villages, but we're here to get the shot that reminds and inspired the movie, the Disney movie, Luca. That's the whole reason. This is the most famous, most photographed spot, and that is why we're here. So you make it off the platform. If you want to do the walking, I pointed to it. If you don't and you want to make it into the town, you're gonna go down the stairs on your right and then through under the tunnel, and then you pop back up into the city. Fun fact for you girlies, we've made it into the village and every bathroom either costs €1 at the train station or 2 here. You're gonna have to buy something to go to the bathroom. We're steps into the city and I love a good map. This actually has the 5 villages that the train goes to that we recommend that you go to. This is the most famous and the easiest to get to. It's only 8 minutes from La Spezia Central, the main train station from the port. Makes it super easy. Grab a bite to eat and then head back to the ship. The least, I don't know, hurdles to get to. But if you wanted to take it to the next level, we recommend you do 3 out of the 5. Don't do all 5. Don't think you have enough time for that. Or try to walk the trail, and once you run out of time, take the train back. We are so excited to be here. This is an unbelievable amount of Instagram photos. The backgrounds are legendary. We have some like jumping off and swimming. We have some staircases, some people sunbathing. You have to come here to get your photo, but it is 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'd say that this is probably the most popular at the beginning of the day, so maybe it's better that we waited a little bit of time.
He's gonna run and jump.
Your name? In Italy, Rodrigo.
Now you can take the train like us, or you can take the ferry. I hear it's more expensive and a little bit longer, but you go around the coast and you're able to see all the villages. They might not stop at every single village, but it's something if you want to take a different transportation here. I'll also say there's all these different coves and stairs that you can come out. So there's this one. We were just over here taking photos and Mitch jumped off there. I'll drop in the clip. And then there's also this staircase that goes all the way up. Looks like a restaurant over there. And this is one ramp from the city too. So really, really accessible. I feel like 3 o'clock is the play, guys. There's no one here. I'm in tennis shoes. I don't know if I'd recommend flip-flops. Something that straps to your feet though, because look at this walkway. You gotta commit. It is fantastic. There's so many viewpoints. I love that it disperses the tourists, and plus there's nobody here right now, but these views are impeccable. Look at that bay. Wow, I cannot believe it's free to swim here other than going to the bathroom, but other than that, you're good to go. We're just up there on that ridge, came down. This is staircase. Oh my gosh. The Luca boys that we met yelling Italian are on the other side of this rock jumping in. Here's a staircase, here's a viewpoint. So good. These are the stairs.
There's this water right here. There's a
Now that is a bachelorette party. Do you see that? It's like pink lemonade. How fun! We've gone peak to peak with you. Now, I would recommend that you walk the whole area to make the most of your visit here, especially if you're not going to any other villages or you went to the Leaning Tower of Pisa earlier today, like we did. Also, bring a bathing suit. Bring an extra bag with an extra change of clothes so you can make the most of the salty seas. Mitch jumped in and he said it's really buoyant and really salty, but something to experience, especially on this hot day. It has got to be 95 out here, but we're grinding for you, so make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll get back to the train next.
Now this is what you want your train stations to look like. Look at that, tunnel to tunnel, and then it breaks out to the Mediterranean Sea view.
Okay, we're walking back to the cruise ship. We're about 15 minutes in. I think it takes 30 minutes to get there.
25, yeah.
25. Super easy. There's a bunch of shopping, but like not recognizable Americanized shopping, just window shopping. So just in case you get bored, you can stop on in. So today was a complete whirlwind, running around from port to train to big monument to all the attractions in the coastline. I wanted to answer some of the questions that I was looking for when I watched videos. One, where you port. I was under the impression that we would port in a commercial area, then have to take a free shuttle out and then come back walking through the city and then get to the train station. But actually we are on Royal Caribbean and we had to take a tender out to the main port, and then we walked, or we would have walked, to the train station. Instead we caught a taxi because we were short on time. Another question that I wanted answered was the cruise port even worth staying in? And from my research, it was not. I'd think of this town more like a launching pad where you're planning your day and you're trying to do those one of three things depending on if you get an excursion, if you hire a private driver, or if you're wanting to do it all yourself like we did with the trains. There's nothing much in town, but you can't beat going to somewhere famous with the Leaning Tower of Pisa, getting the token photo, as well as seeing that village. It was spectacular in person, and I would really hope that you fit it in your itinerary if you were in town. Now, as soon as you arrive, or as you're pre-planning and you're looking at it on a map, all the attractions look really close on the map, but they are not. Do not underestimate the distance and the strategizing that goes into planning your day here, because like I said, there's 3 main levels. There's Florence, 2 hours away. That's the hardest to navigate because you want to make sure you get back on the boat. Then there is the Leaning Tower of Pisa, the city of Pisa, and then there is Cinque Terre. I always want to say Quinceañera, where it's the closest, and then the 5 villages you can walk, like I mentioned before. How we made it harder is by going to the Leaning Tower and then doubling back to at least one of the villages because it's based on a Disney movie and we wanted to get some photos there. It worked out for us. I saw this and I knew it was achievable because somebody else did it on their video, and they went and did it through a tour guide, and I started planning it and timing it out, and it was overly complicated for what it was, but more on that. If you're planning your day independently, instead of going with a planned guide, then I would say that you need to download the train app. I will put a a little drop down so you can see which app I'm talking about. This was crucial, especially because we ran into delays with the tender, and then we had to get a taxi, and if we would have had to wait in the lines that were at the train station today, it would have been a nightmare. Also making sure that we hit our trains along the way and we were able to buy them while we were waiting for the train on our phone was so wonderful, and just having the QR barcode saved instead of having a ticket or previously printing them out, I think the QR barcode was the best, but you have to. I don't think there was a way that I could have executed this without having the app. Now we've made it to the part of the video where I promised you I'd tell you how much we spent. So we had an unexpected taxi fare in the morning that I promise you, if our Tinder wouldn't have been late, we would have walked. That was 15 euros. And then from the main train station from the port to Pisa was an hour. That was a fast train. Then we had a train back from Pisa to the small village, Rigmaroni or something like that. Then we had which was 2 hours because it was not an express train. Then we had an 8-minute train. All together, that was $77, but then you add in that taxi, makes it around 90. If we hadn't taken the taxi, it would have been 80, split 2 ways, $40 per person. That is a fantastic deal in my eyes with when you compare it to the excursions that were over $200 per person. That can really add up as long as you're comfortable with the trains and navigating, and maybe getting a little bit earlier of a start than we did, that you wouldn't be under so much pressure. But we made it in great time. We didn't spend that much time at either of the attractions, but it's our accomplishment to just see it, take photos, experience it, be there, and then move on to the next famous thing. So overall, we are on our way to the next port on our Mediterranean cruise. There's Majorca, there's Provence in France, so all kinds of countries, but make sure you like and subscribe, and we will see you on the next one.